Welcome to the Geeks Assembled podcast. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Hello there and welcome. Yes, we have gathered here again. Yes, I know, once again, to talk about another Doctor Who episode. And we're going to talk about Extremis, which was this last Saturday just gone. And let's open the floor with opening thoughts. Let's go to our very own Lee Wilson from Hull. Go ahead, Lee.
I know why you come to me first. It was, in my head, it was Doctor Who does the Da Vinci Code stroke the Matrix. I didn't like it. Sorry, to be honest. It's well acted. The scenery was brilliant. But for me, it's Moffat, as usual, confusing storylines. And as I was watching it, I sat there thinking about when I first started watching Doctor Who. When I was a wee lad, about 3, my nephew started watching Doctor Who when he was 5, in 2005 of Eccleston. And I put myself in their all these 5-year-old, 6-year-old shoes. If they were watching that episode last night, they would not have made head nor tail of that. And that's not what Doctor Who's about, I'm afraid. It's got to be well-told stories, what people can understand from beginning to end. None of this turned the episode on its head and that this was this and that was that. Moffat, get on your bike. That's all I'm going to say for now.
Well, I think we can all say that. Lee really enjoyed that. So let's go to Susan and Alex next. Go ahead, Susan and Alex.
All right. Yeah, Extremis was a really interesting episode. I disagree completely with our co-leader here. I just don't even know why he watches if he doesn't like them. Anyway, that's just my thing. Yeah, okay. Of course you can watch whatever you want to watch. You're a free man, and so anyway, I loved it. I thought it was really beautiful. I thought it was really interesting. I think that any 5-year-old will know what the Pope is and the monks. I mean, it's not so postmodern that the whole clergy have fallen out of the general.
I'm not on about the clergy, Susan. I'm on about the storytelling.
All right.
They would not have understood it at all.
All right. Well, yeah.
Lee's really upset about this one, Susan.
Okay. The fact that it was a shadow world and everything, spoilers, it was just great. It had lots of interesting twists and turns, and I love the bits with Michelle Gomez back in full force as Missy the Master. The Gomez Master is awesome, and yeah, the fact that she was willing to give her life, that's pretty stinking awesome. So anyway, the Doctor fixed that, and yeah, I liked the whole idea of the book containing truth, and I love the fact that the Doctor worked through his different ability and tried to solve it, but eventually just needed to barrel on ahead with what he was doing. And yeah, so I liked it, but I think that Alex didn't like it. Yeah, so here's Alex.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Lee. I'm getting a little tired of this. He's trying to impress. He's trying to make it super modern. You don't need to make it super modern. Don't make it unmodern, but I'm hoping that the next 2 episodes explain it. I've seen it twice, and I still barely liked it. Also, it reminded me of, Hellbent and Heaven Sent from last season, which it was cute what they did when he was in that castle and he was trapped and, he had all these copies of himself. However, I'm wondering if it's a copy within a copy and a simulation within a simulation, and if we're just going through 10,000 computer files, and that's why there's so many numbers. Bill, of course, is doing a wonderful job. I don't know why they made her into a holographic simulation. Nardal, I don't really care about. I thought he was being smarmy as usual. But, you know, they wanted to be a little sarcastic. But, I mean, it's a good cast. The priests, they sort of reminded me of the fires of Pompeii. So I'm kind of glad Moffat is leaving, and hopefully we'll get back to more straight storytelling and not so much, you know, of this timey-wimey stuff. Although I will say that the season has been very good, especially as far as the casts are concerned. But, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the last two stories.
Yeah, that's fine. We've got to remember that this is just part one. This is just part one of a three-parter. So, Lee, you've got the other two episodes to look forward to. And now let's go to Germany with Beef Dad on his thoughts on Extremis.
Well, I thought it was brilliant. I loved every moment of it. There were some wonderfully confusing moments. There were some absolutely hysterically funny moments. And there was some superb acting. There really was some very, very good acting. Yeah, quite possibly they have. I did say to Marcus after it, I can see the Matrix in there. But there are only a limited amount of stories. And it won't be the first time that somebody has been in a computer in Doctor Who. In fact, you never know. Someone from an old one might turn up again. Yeah, magic moments. Matt Lucas, the moment he pixelated and disappeared was just absolute magic. I loved it. Particularly loved his reaction. Didn't expect it to happen to Pearl Mackie. But she had probably one of the most memorable moments in years in this episode. Because at no other time has a companion had the Pope walk into their bedroom, particularly when they're on the lesbian date. It was just outrageous. It was outrageous and hysterically funny. I really just folded up laughing at that moment. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
And let's go to a new face of ours, which is Susie. Go ahead, Susie. You need to unmute yourself. That's it.
I'm unmuted. Honestly, what a load of crap. It was awful. I mean, all of the things everybody else has said about the good aspects of it are true. However, for me, if a story ends badly, it ruins the whole thing. And this one was just bad. You could see it coming from a mile away. I hate when that happens. Although, we did find out who was in the vaults, and I was right. Thank you very much. Woo-hoo-hoo. After we were done, we went on the chat room, and Alex and Lee and I were all in agreement pretty much. But then it was funny because I went over to the TVN's chat room, and everybody there loved it. So I think this is going to be one of those polarizing episodes that you either really loved or you hated. And that's okay. I mean, of course it was done well. The acting's always good. The tech is always good. I mean, we wouldn't be watching it if it wasn't. But I mean, it was pretty clear to me what was going on, but I would have been happier if it had spent 40 minutes on the storyline with the master and the doctor. That was worth it to me. And then at the end, he just got an email of this silly experience that he had warning him that there was an attack. That would have been good for me without having to go through an entire episode of placeholding. It really annoyed me. I'm looking forward to next week, though, because I think that that's going to be great. So we'll have to see. But yeah, my overall reaction at the end of it was, you gotta be kidding me. And that was pretty much it. I'm sure I have a lot more to say, but I think I'll cut right there for now. I'm with you, Lee, 100%.
Yeah, Lee, you got a supporter, you got a fan over here.
And Alec, I'm with you, Alec. I like you,
Alex. Yeah.
Sorry.
And let's go to Brian with his shades on. Go ahead, Brian.
That
What's
was
your
lovely.
thoughts on Extremis?
I know.
Here we go. Oh dear. I hope you're sitting down, folks.
All right, so what I thought of the Doctor Who episode is... Are you ready for this? I thought it no good. It was... I mean, it was no good at all. It was like one of those type of Doctor Who episodes that should go right down the shitter. And it just was no good. It just, I mean, the main best part of the episode is having Missy back. But other than that, it just was absolutely shit and everything. And it didn't make any sense at all. Not at all. It was totally weird. I mean, some of you said that it reminded you like Da Vinci and The Matrix, but I didn't get the Da Vinci feel to it, and certainly not The Matrix. But it was really weird. What? Just total weirdness and crap all over it. It just complete crap.
Wow, I can't wait to hear your score. This episode really is straight down the middle. You either love it or hate it. Do you have any more to add, Brian?
I mean, in fact, when they had, when they had Bill and Naldo trying all the simulations, the project, like going into different
world, yeah, going into the
worlds of the simulations and everything, and Naldo figured out like everything was a simulation, including themselves. That I thought was a cool part within like within the episode, because Naldo doesn't really actually figure out. It's not really his. He normally doesn't really figure out stuff. It's normally the Doctor figuring out stuff. I mean, I'm sure Naldo is smart and everything, but he took over mostly at that point. I mean, he's Doctor's sight now, because in that he's blind, and that's why I have these shades on. Yeah, so maybe, just maybe, Naldo will become the Doctor. But
God, no. Brian, why did you have to bring that up?
No. But yeah, it was the fact that when Naldo disappeared, I went, "Yay, he's gone!" But the Doctor still not having his sight. Honestly, you don't really mind it. I mean, it took me a little bit getting used to him being blind still. I mean, even though we saw him get blind within last week's episode. But his blindness had mostly nothing really to complain about. I mean, I didn't really mind it. So the fact that he's blind and he has to figure out all the stuff within what he needs to do, I still think is pretty damn awesome in my opinion, because he's the freaking doctor, man. The best doctor of them all. Within knew who that is, and he's the best actor and doctor to do it, to pull off that type of thing. And good on Capaldi. Good on Capaldi. So, yeah. But the strange thing, though, I found, well, not strange, but like one thing that got me a little bit curious about is the temporary installment of his site. Like he said that there will be a price and something will get taken away. Well, is that like a little hint of him regenerating?
Yeah, but that doesn't count. But that doesn't count now because that was in the simulation.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that part was in the simulation. The moment after the titles roll, straight after the titles roll, it's all a simulation. The only real bit is the pre-title sequence and the last, 2 minutes. That's the only real bit.
Weird.
So that bit when he's sat at the book and he's got the things on the side of it on his temples, that wasn't real. That was a simulation. So there's not going to be a sacrifice.
So the 40 minutes you sat through never
The
really
40
happened.
minutes you sat through never happened. That's the truth.
What a waste of time. What a waste of time.
Actually, it was more than 40 minutes for me because I watched it on BBC America. It was like a full hour.
Oh, Brian. What complains of BBC America?
Now that's fine. That's funny, Brian. That was funny right there. Yeah, the commercials are too much.
The Missy part, though, that wasn't a simulation.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, that wasn't a simulation. Yeah, the Missy part wasn't the simulation. The bits where Missy were actually happened. They were in the past.
I'm sorry, Howard. Did you just call Missy a bitch?
No, when did I call Missy a bitch?
Yes, you did. You said bitch.
I didn't. You watch this back.
Oh, right. If you say so. If you say so. But back there.
I said bits.
Oh, well.
Clean your ears out, love.
In any case, the fact that, getting back to Missy, though, the fact that she is the one that's in the vault, I was kind of disappointed because I was...
Oh, we'll get on to that. Don't worry. We will get on to that. Now, Brian, you...
someone else to be in the vault. But, getting back to the episode, complete shit. It should be going... That episode, script, everything, should go down the crapper. It's crap.
So, are you saying it's worse than In the Forest of the Night?
Boston Night, I don't know what you're talking about. That episode's great. Flatline was the one that was crap.
That was great.
You're just trolling now. He's just trolling now. So at the moment, we've got 4 people who really hate it. Well, maybe not really hate it, but some people really hate it. And 2 people who like it. Let's see what side Kevin falls on. Do you love this or hate this, Kevin? Go ahead.
I really liked it. Susan going wild. Well, I really liked this episode. It was very interesting with the simulation and stuff, but I think maybe Missy is not in the vault. Maybe not at all. Maybe the doctor's lying. You never know. But probably Missy is in the vault. But it was kind of to be expected, but I was like, okay. But yeah, the simulation part were very cool, and the monks were really scary, And then the doctor sent a message to the sunglasses where he was in the simulation. And then, yeah, we didn't saw the vault open, so
No, but it's what state Missy's in, apparently, not that Missy's in the vault. It's more what's happened to her. You know, why she's in the vault, you know, sort of thing.
Yeah. So
Do you have any more to say on the episode?
Oh well, the monks were really scary. Did
you not think the monks were too similar to like villains we've had before, though? Like they reminded me of the Silence.
Oh, maybe.
Reminded me of the Silence with the hands as well, and just the way they walked and talked.
Oh, you never know. But then next episode is the end of the world of the pyramid or something like that. Yeah. So I'm going to watch that for next week. So yeah, I really like this.
And now, well, it's on to me. Now, am I going to agree with Kevin, Beef Dad, and Susan, or Susie, Alex, Brian, and Lee? Well, I have to say, unlike the Moffat bashers of this group, Lee Wilson, I really enjoyed this episode. I generally actually did. I was sat there and I was thinking, I love the opening with Missy and the Doctor, and it makes you believe that the Doctor is going to be the one executed, but obviously it's Missy and Michelle Gomez. This is the best acting Michelle Gomez has done in the show so far. I thought Michelle Gomez was absolutely excellent. Bill is excellent as ever. Nardo was really good. Peter Capaldi, absolutely phenomenal. Always phenomenal. Every single episode. But I thought that the twist when you find out that it's a simulation was actually really clever. And as somebody who plays Mario games, I will never play Super Mario the same way again. I will never play Super Mario the same way again. I will always feel guilty for the poor guy. And all the Gumbas and everything that he stamps on. But it's now really cruel now. It's made me look at it in a different light. Save the animated creatures, I say. And I generally love this episode. I think people saying it's confusing, well, it's not that confusing really if you think about it. I mean, it's a simulation basically from the moment the title screen finishes. Then it goes into a simulation apart from the Missy scenes. I did think the Missy scenes were a bit disjointed to the episode though. They kind of it swapped from the simulation world as we know it, if that's what you want to call it, and then the scenes with Missy and the Doctor. I did think didn't quite match up right. I don't know whether that was because of the editing or whatever, but overall I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was going to give it a score then, but we're scoring it later on. So I'm gonna let's talk about the vault. Are we disappointed with the vault, or were we happy that it was Missy?
Disappointed.
Anybody disappointed?
I hate when I know stuff. I just think I shouldn't have known, but it was kind of obvious to me.
Well, the problem is they put her in the next time trailer, of Oxygen. After Oxygen, we had the trailer of Extremis, but they put her in the next time trailer. Mm-hmm. You don't do that. I'm sorry, you don't do that.
Yeah, but you didn't even expect her to be in the vault. I mean, they didn't say within the trailer that she was going to be in the vault.
Well, they're not going to say it.
Even the Doctor, when talking to the vault doors, was saying Missy. So, bit of a giveaway, Brian.
Yeah, but she.
When did he say Missy?
Yeah,
I totally disagree.
He did. He did
say Missy at the vault. He said it twice, I think.
Yeah, he was stood with his hands.
And he said Missy.
He was
Missy,
stood with his hands on the.
I'm blind, Missy, he said.
Yeah.
You mean in this past episode?
Yeah.
This one just gone, Extremis. Yeah.
Not prior to this episode.
Not prior to the episode, no. During this episode we're on about.
No, definitely Missy's in the vault. He asked her for help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you not hear that, Brian?
I did, but I just didn't like it. It's a stupid disappointment. It's a stupid disappointment. There's a certain person that I wanted to be in the vault, and I think you know who.
Candyman.
Master.
Candyman.
John
Britney Spears? I don't know.
Johnson's master, baby.
And going back to the monks, I didn't think they were very good at all.
No, they reminded me too much of the Silence, to be honest, and they were too generic. They could have been anything. They could have been any monster.
Well. A certain friend of ours said today they just look like old men in dressing gowns.
Who said that?
I mean, that's
Well,
kind
that
of
is terrifying.
that's kind of the joke about being a monk, is that you're an old guy in a dressing gown or an old guy in a frock. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
that's what he's saying.
To be monks
that
at all,
is the
did they,
joke.
really?
But the essence of this is that they were decimated faces. You know, they
Yeah, but we've seen
obviously
it.
needed some
We've-
moisturizer.
The Paravile in the Fires of Pompeii.
Yes, look just like a Paravile.
Yeah.
We've seen those monsters before. The Rings of Akatan, that thing in the glass case, exactly
Yes,
the same
right,
design.
And the hand
Even the mummy on Orient Express was similar design.
That's what I didn't like about it. That is one thing I have to say about the episode. I didn't
So-
like that the monks were too similar to other Doctor Who monsters we've had.
So did you ever go like, oh my gosh, these sea devils are just
Yeah,
like
but wait there. We've had headless we've had monks before loads of times. The headless monks.
The Sea Devils are cousins to the Silurians. That's why they're similar.
Yeah.
But they could have made them look any way possible, couldn't they? They
Yeah.
could have made them. They didn't even have to be monks.
Yes, a lot of it took place within a computer program.
You'd be
You could
hard pressed
have had the Valiard turn up.
You'd be hard pressed to, to have a pope without any monks around him.
All right.
Yeah, but they weren't related to the Pope.
Not
They
them
weren't anything
monks.
to do with the Pope.
Yeah.
The monks weren't anything to do with the Pope.
No, you.
But
They were
the
separate.
human-looking ones earlier were.
Oh, yeah, but we're talking about the aliens, the alien
I
monks.
know, but I mean, like,
The ones that
that's
you-
why they went to the monks.
That
I'm
talk
sorry.
like that.
What did you say, Jeffrey? I didn't mean to interrupt. All over the place.
That's all right. Don't worry.
No, but what did you say?
Considering it was a computer simulation, which the Doctor has been in a computer simulation many times before. In fact, one of the most famous ones was the duel with the Valiard.
Yeah. But this was the Matrix, wasn't it?
And I was wondering if the Valiard was going to turn up.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other question, too. I mean, I'm just wondering if it's a copy of a copy of a copy, etc. You know, you just keep looping around, just like they did when he was in the castle. You know, what was it, Hellbent, I think it was, where he was in the castle and he was trying to get
Heaven
out.
Sent. Let's not mention Hellbent.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Hellbent was crap. Heaven
I
Sent-
liked Hellbent.
No, it was crap, man.
No, it wasn't. I liked Hellbent. With the Time Lords, I liked everything until Clara got back.
Yeah.
No,
Literally the whole episode.
Too much Clara. Yeah.
Hellbent's episode was crap along with the Time Lords in there.
You are correct.
But we've got to remember, this episode is just one of 3 parts. This is just one of 3 parts. That's what we've got to remember. So the big villain is still to come.
Well, I know, but who cares? We still wasted an hour. I want the episode back. Give me the second part. You could have just gone to the second part and put in the closing prior, like to the prequel, and said, in last week's episode, we found out Missy's in the vault, and the Doctor got an email from himself. On to the episode, and that would have taken care of 40 minutes. With the exception of the Pope going into Pearl's apartment, that was pretty funny. I'll give you that one, Jimmy.
And the Stargate, the loopy thing with all the portals.
The portals, yeah.
That was pretty brilliant.
Brilliant.
I thought the simulation was good, though. I thought the idea of the simulation was good.
That was
We do have war simulations.
For God's sakes.
We do have war simulations.
Yeah, I mean,
governments do use that. I think that was quite clever.
Yeah, and when did Star Trek come into place here? I mean,
Stargate.
Stargate.
No, I said Star Trek because
yeah.
those circle thingies, they look just like the things that the...
I know. I mean, even Naldo said that it was like the holodeck.
Did.
I mean,
all right. So
why do we have to put a Star Trek reference within Doctor Who? This is
because they want to appeal to people that aren't diehard fans.
Last episode, they did the whole Space the Final Frontier. I mean, what? Are you trying to shut this stuff down?
No. The Face of Final Frontier
is crossover bliss.
Yeah, but that was a parody. This was the main part of the episode. I was okay with the episode until the ending.
So you enjoyed the episode till the ending?
Until we found out, until he started going down, oh, this is a simulation. We're all going to die. We're not real. I don't like placeholder episodes.
While I was sat there listening to all that, it absolutely terrified me when the Doctor was mentioning that they were a simulation, that Stephen Moffat was going to make everything a simulation, like that. That's it. It's all a simulation. Like Doctor Who was just one great big simulation.
Well, I mean,
I'm glad he didn't.
A year later, we're going to get the shower in Dallas, and the guy will all be dreaming.
It was all a dream. Well, I mean, isn't that a little bit like so? In other words, they're doing Doctor Who, they're doing Inception, they're doing The Matrix, and what was the other movie?
Dallas.
So I mean. So what? Moffat's trying to be clever, imitating 5 different things in the same...
No, he's just cycling his old ideas. It's time for him
But he's done that for years.
There is a real validity to like, the beginning, like this episode started with a long time ago. I mean, it was just this side of Star Wars. I mean, he's really dropping fan service in and references to cross all of the science fiction genres in the whole.
If he was doing fan service, he'd have left 2 years ago.
Oh, stop!
I agree.
I have to add something on the episode though. People moan about Smile having a reset button, but I think this had more of a reset button than Smile did. Even though I like this episode, it was a bit of a reset, wasn't it, really, when you think about it?
I'm not sure what you mean by reset.
Well, basically...
Everybody dies, everybody lives.
Yeah, they died, but then they didn't die. It was like reset, wasn't it, really? Because you thought they were dead.
The episode doesn't... I wouldn't give this episode the Alpha Centauri Award, which is what I call the worst thing about Who ever, is that character Alpha Centauri. So I wouldn't give it that. But this wasn't up there.
Wait, what the hell are you talking about? Alpha Centauri was awesome.
6 arms, able to play 3 guitars at once.
What?
Alpha Centauri has 6 arms and is able to play 3 guitars at once.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry.
I thought that was Brian, then.
Doctor Who. Oh, man.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Susan. We just interrupted Susan. Go ahead.
Alpha Centauri has 3 sets of arms, can play 3 guitars at the same time.
Yeah,
that's very true. Also, a walking eyeball that is in the shape of a part of the male anatomy that I'm not sure how I should say. With a curtain for a
oh, dear.
It's a place like this!
We're thinking into chaos, aren't we?
We are going into chaos, Beef Dad. We are.
It's not boring.
Into this.
Doesn't he have a cape as well?
Yes! It's a curtain! I think I read somewhere that they couldn't figure out, they had a different...
It's non-sex. It's non-sex, isn't it? Alpha Centauri's non-sex.
I think so.
Yeah, non-sex, yeah. So it's not he, Brian, it's it, I suppose.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think it's...
But what has that got to do with Extremis?
Everything.
It doesn't.
Alpha Centauri's in the vault. Alpha Centauri's in the vault. Really, it's not Missy.
Anyways.
There you go, Susie. You wait till the next episode when you see Alpha Centauri walk out
Don't you throw that in the vault, man.
playing three guitars.
It's bad enough. I mean, come on.
No, I mean, again, it's good if they want to do fan service, but it's a little. This is getting a little obvious, though. It's getting a little.
You think Alpha Centauri walking out of the vault is obvious?
No, not that part. I'm talking about
Playing three guitars.
the Star Trek references, but I mean, you know, some people will like that. I personally, I could live without it, but
I don't mind the actual references, but when everything seems to start being recycled, it annoys me.
yeah,
I just think he's better.
well, sadly, this is the universe of the recycle of what was recycled before. So it's kind of.
That's true. Nothing is new under the sun.
So does anybody have any favourite moments in this episode, or even least favourite moments, dare I say?
What favorite moments? The episode was shit.
You gotta have some favourite moments.
All right.
As soon as you mentioned the Pope scene with...
my favorite moment is with the Doctor and Missy scenes. Those are my favorite moments. But other than that, the episode is shit.
Okay.
Have you discovered a new word, Brian, by any chance?
Language.
Yes, I wonder where he's got that from.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways,
Language, Brian.
the
Language.
Alex, you liked the parts with Missy and the Doctor with the execution thing.
Yeah. You didn't like them.
I don't like flashbacks in stories. I've had 5 years of flashbacks in Arrow, and I can do without it in Doctor Who.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
those.
It doesn't help. It didn't really help the story along at all.
No, I do agree with you there. I thought it was a bit disjointed. I do agree with you on that point.
It had nothing to do with the story.
I do agree with you on that point. It was a bit disjointed. Yeah, flashbacks.
Would have it helped if it was like a mini-sode to the story?
I don't go for.
Yeah, that would have been better. Yeah, have that as a mini-sode. Before.
No, that would have been in the Extremis part the entire time. Look, I love Doctor Who, and no matter how much I say I don't like this particular episode, I'll still probably watch it another 100 times before I die. So there it is. It certainly is not the worst thing on earth. We're just being super picky. You know, we have a barrier here because we love the series so much. That's all.
Well, even like with the executioner scene, like when Naldo arrived with his diary, that was another thing. Because from what I heard, this is probably not true.
No, it's not true.
That it
It's not true. When they say it's probably not true, it's not true.
Probably most certainly that it isn't. But I heard that was a bombshell hint that River could return.
Oh, come off it, Brian.
No, well, she can retire. She can come back at any time because she's
in Big Finish. She's Alex Kingston is doing Big Finish, and she's doing lots of that, and she's done box sets, and they're really good. So, I mean, she is still doing the show. She's just doing this other part now.
The audios, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's willing to come back. She came back last Christmas. I mean, that's brilliant. But she's moved into the Big Finish realm, and you know she's going to be if you want River Song, you're gonna have to like pony up and get the River Song Diaries or Doom Coalition with her in it.
No, I'm not saying that I want her back. I mean, as much as I like her, I do like her, but I agree, like with most of you all, that her story ended with the current Christmas, the previous Christmas special.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Husbands of River Song.
That's a perfect way to end her story. But I just heard like in an article that was like a little hint of her coming back, but it's not.
I've got.
Lee is dying to talk.
I've got a question. This Nadal thing turning up with the diary.
Oh, here we go.
No. This is another thing.
We've heard this one.
This is another thing. What's just come to my mind.
No, it didn't. You've been saying it in the chat all day.
No, it's nothing to do with that. This is just what Nardal. The Doctor was surprised to see him. So was that the first time he's seen Nardal since The Husbands of Riversong?
Well, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
But he was decapitated in that story. So, but we've been told that the Doctor had reattached his head. So now, why was he surprised to see him?
Maybe it's not. Maybe Nardal.
There's so many head jokes you can make here, but I'm not going to do them.
Wait a minute. Listen to me. Hang on. What? Maybe it's not Nardal that was had his. I mean, maybe it wasn't the Doctor attaching his head because he's now sort of cyborg. That's what they said.
In the first episode, what was it? The Christmas episode, Doctor Mysterio. He said the Doctor reattached his head.
Pilot in the pilot one, yes.
But which Doctor?
Which that is a question because
Nardal said to this Doctor, have you done it because she was lonely?
This is what they call a plot hole.
Case proven, my lord. Next case.
But let's let Kevin speak because he's been a bit quiet. Let's give Kevin a chance to speak.
Well, yeah, and Missy's in the fault.
It shouldn't be Missy.
You've got him started again now.
It shouldn't be you.
Who would you like to see in the vault then, Kevin?
Maybe the Master or something, you know.
John Sims'
Missy
Master.
Is the Master, though. Missy, this is the thing. Missy is the Master.
Yeah, but it should be. I really feel it should have been John Sims' Master. We know that he's coming back. We know that he's coming back, and it should have been him.
But Brian, before you hop anymore, calm down a minute. Before, I think John Sim is behind this simulation. He's behind this simulation. He's the head of Lee's cat's just looking at him. He's behind it. He's the person behind
What if there's 3 groups or 4 groups behind this simulation? So there's two other groups.
What if
John Sim's Master? It's a Matrix. It's in the Matrix.
What if it's a group of masters behind it all?
Exactly. Yeah.
Here we go.
Like Delgado and
the Master Race.
I can never remember that other one.
Well, isn't Roger Delgado's Master supposed to be in it, like a CGI version?
I can never remember that one in the 80s. Oh, what's his name?
What, Jeffrey Beavers? Wasn't it Jeffrey Beavers was one of them? But
there's the two that are really these days are Jeffrey Beavers and Alex McQueen. So
there's no other Masters in the 80s.
Alex McQueen is the one that goes, "Hello, you," and Jeffrey Beavers is sort of the camp one. I mean, that's kind of. Yeah, that's kind of the way he comes off to me a little bit, but he's also.
I hope it's the movie.
He's also crispy, Well, he's the one who is.
He's the fried version.
The fried version.
Yeah.
You're muted, Susie.
Been too long.
I know. I was nodding. My dogs are barking at the cat, so I'm.
Well, isn't Delgado's Master supposed to be for when the multi-master story shows up? Like a CGI version?
No, it's not a CGI version. It's a lookalike. They can't afford Leela, Leia style, animation. In Rogue One, they can't afford that, Brian.
Are you sure? I mean, I heard somewhere that they.
No, it's not. It'd be a lookalike, just like David Bradley and William Hartnell. As the first.
I heard that was CGI.
No, it's not going to be CGI. Take no notice of that.
All of the doctors in the
I mean,
the 50th were lookalikes.
Yeah, I know.
They'll be a lookalike.
I know in the 50th they took clips of different episodes of Classic Who for that one scene, but they did use CGI of Hartnell within the finale of season 7, I believe.
So here's a question for you. Do we have high hopes for the next episode? The Pyramid at the End of the World? Do we hope? For those who didn't like this episode, do you have hope that this one will be better?
Yes, of course.
I think it's...
Yeah.
I'm hoping that the next episode will be better than this crap episode.
As long as they don't go down the route of it's another simulation on top of a simulation. Don't do that.
I mean, from what the next time trailer, well, next time promo of the next episode.
Sorry, American. Oh, sorry.
So,
I do apologize.
Sorry about that, Alan, but I call it promo. But from the next time promo to the next episode, from like a Egyptian pyramid, it looks pretty. I think that looks pretty interesting. So hopefully it'll be good than this stupid episode because it was.
Now the unit soldier says that the pyramid appeared overnight. Now, what if the pyramid is a TARDIS?
What? Could be.
Well, if it appeared overnight,
very smart.
And that would link into the Master being behind it all. There we go.
That's very smart.
Or the Rani.
No,
I mean,
no, they're not bringing.
Oh, would it?
No
Who
one
would the Rani
Could be the Rani, could be the Valier.
Wait a minute.
Awesome.
Hold on.
Nobody
Hold on
remembers
here.
the Rani, says Moffat.
I remember the Rani.
Oh no, according to Moffat, you don't.
Wait, no, hold on here, Alan. What could that be? Because John Sims Master didn't have a TARDIS.
But there's no saying he didn't take one.
Gallifrey just before they disappeared.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you could
he
steal
take
one.
one at a time.
It's not the first time one of those things has been ripped off.
Yeah, they don't keep good tabs on them, do they?
Nope, they don't.
Yeah, the only masters that had the TARDIS is Legato and
Beavers.
and yeah, the
But
Crispy
it doesn't
Master
mean
and,
John Sting
Delgado.
doesn't have one.
yeah, the Crispy Master and Anley. Those are the
He could have
Don't forget.
stolen one.
Don't forget,
Crispy.
there is the drunk TARDIS.
The drunk artist, yeah.
Drunk
The drunk
TARDIS.
TARDIS.
Nobody knows what happened to the drunk TARDIS.
Oh, the junk. Oh, I thought you said the drunk TARDIS. I thought the drunk TARDIS.
No, but nobody knows what happened to the drunk TARDIS. That's
Been on the drink.
And then there's another TARDIS that was ripped off by me and Clara. So
Let's not go, Susan.
No.
I just
You had to bring them into the
like
conversation.
apparently
No, why
they
do you have to bring
booked
that
that
TARDIS?
restaurant again, that cafe again.
Hold on, why did you have to bring that TARDIS up? Because that TARDIS was
Same deal.
terrible.
Didn't it look awful
They had to
at
make
the end of that
it in a
episode?
cafe, which, by the way, was the same cafe that the dog.
Brian, will you stop shouting?
Shouting, yeah. We're not your
Jeez.
neighbours.
Brian, it was called Ed's Diner.
Well, cafe, diner, same thing, but it was the same diner.
Diner? That's very cool.
This really has gone into chaos.
But it was
Well,
the same diner.
a good host would have grabbed it and reeled it back.
I beg your pardon.
But wait,
Oh, a horse master.
Is that what you? Is that what you do when you hear Pantless?
but the Claus TARDIS that she has is the same diner that was with Dr. Amy and Rory was sitting in The Impossible Astronaut. It was the same diner.
Ed's? Well, fantastic. Or Alonzi or Geronimo, but really, it's okay. It's okay to use
No,
the
it's
same.
not, because I hate when they rip stuff off like that. It's
You're
stupid.
all right, Brian. Mrs.
Calm down.
Sideman is
Calm
saying
down.
TARDIS.
This podcast is now PG-13.
You need a little darling.
It's rated R. No, I mean, of course, Doctor Who can rip off itself, but hopefully it doesn't do that.
It always does
It's
that.
gonna
Wait on
do
a minute.
that.
Doctor Who always copies itself.
Well, maybe, hopefully it'll get better when Moffat leaves.
Well, I wouldn't get your hopes up.
I'm not sure.
Problem is, when a show is 50 years old, you've kind of done all the stories.
And Chris Chibnall was really ruthless against John Nathan Turner, and I just can see that he's going to fall into all the same.
Who's in it? Who's John Nathan Turner?
He was the producer for the 80s.
Yeah, 80.
Oh, the awful
into the
one.
90s.
Yes. The awful one. Yeah, the one with all
producer of Doctor Who. You're right.
80s, yeah.
In the 80s.
Yeah. No, I have watched all of them. I just don't know all the names.
Oh, yeah, JNT, yeah. John
I really want Mark Gatiss to take over, even though that won't happen.
He's leaving.
I know, and I know it won't. I know it won't happen.
A very positive thing to say.
I know it won't happen, but I like Mark Gatiss, and I would like for him to.
Well, that's fine if you like Mark Gatiss. Yeah, that's completely fine. Yeah.
I like cheesecake, but that won't take over as producer.
I hate cake. I love cheese, but I hate cake.
Oh my God.
Well, this is going here.
I don't know where this is going, you know. I think we should go to final say and thoughts. I think that's a good idea.
Anyway, back to the subject.
Yeah, we go to Brian first. Let's go to Kevin with his final say and thoughts and give a score.
I really liked it, and this is now the conversation of Extremis, back to the original subject. So
I can only apologise, Kevin. I'm getting your name wrong now. I need to lie down in a darkened room.
So yeah, I really liked it. So 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Let's go to Brian before he falls asleep completely.
Okay.
Sound effects.
All right. I would give this episode, let's see.
Here it comes. Brace yourself.
What would I rate this episode? Well, I would give this episode probably a 4.
Oh, 4, that's quite high. For how you were bashing it.
I'll give it 4 tortoises, only because of the Doctor and Missy scenes within the episode. If Missy wasn't in it, and if they didn't have those scenes in the episode, I would have given it a lower rating. I probably would have given it like a 1 or a 2.
Ooh, ouch.
So I would give, since they had the scenes in there, and since those scenes were so great within the episode, I would give it 4 tortoises.
And let's go over to Germany with Beef Dad with hopefully a higher score than 4. I think it will be for final say and score.
Considering this is part of a 3-parter, first part of a 3-parter, I'm really, really looking forward to the next 2. And yeah, there was some wonderful magical moments in this. I mean, there was a couple of moments that actually reminded me of the John Pertwee era. There was just in the way it was done. It was very, very good. Yeah, for me, I'm going to go with Kevin on this. He gets a 9 out of 10.
A 9. And as you mentioned, the John Pertwee era, Susan's thinking of one particular character, aren't you, Susan? And let's go over to Susan with her final say and score. And Alex, of course. Go ahead.
All right, I'll give it I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought that it was beautiful, and there was some sweet stuff that happened in it, and I like Bill, and I like this Nardal power ramp up and his character growth, and just so much. There's so much stuff going on, and yeah. So that's what I've got here. Alex, you give us.
Yeah, like I've said before, the cast is very good. Hopefully, the next 2 parts will explain more. I mean, I can understand hell bent, heaven set, and I think they're trying to copy that and copy the simulation within a simulation. I don't mind it, but I think they went overboard just like they did last year in the episode. So hopefully the next 2 episodes will put this in some sort of reasonable context. I didn't think the villains were that original. Obviously, the writer's hiding stuff, which is fine because it probably will or won't be explained in the next 2 episodes. And only because of the cast, I'm going to give this an 8. Otherwise, for the story, I'd give it a 6. But for the cast, I'll give it an 8.
Oh, that's fair enough. I've just had a thought, actually. In the Shadow World, Bill is usually, in the episodes, she's usually wearing bright coloured clothing, isn't she? But in the Shadow World, she's wearing all black. Did anybody else notice that?
Yeah, I did. I noticed that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's.
So it's like she is a shadow in a way. It's hinting towards that she's in. She is a shadow in the Shadow World.
Or maybe it's because she's a villain and she's evil.
And let's go to Susie for her final say and score on Extremis.
Well, I want to say there is one really positive thing about this episode is that it's made one heck of a discussion. So I really have enjoyed this talk. It's been really
I thought you were going to say the episode ended.
No, I'm not that snarky. I am snarky, but not that snarky. Always I love the actors, and I think the Who craft, the theater craft, all of that stuff is good. It was just the storytelling, and because of that reason, I would give it a 4.5.
And
that's the only reason.
And let's go over to Hull with Lee. Are you going to give it higher or lower than 4.5 from Susie?
Extremis, meaning at the point of death, which this episode was. I can't knock the acting. It's always brilliant. The team, the TARDIS team, are brilliant. It did look good to look at the scenery, the Vatican library and stuff like that. But it didn't gel for me at all. This one, and it's down for me. It's down to the Moffat thing with me. So I'm giving it a 3.
3.
3, yeah. I just did not like it.
Yeah, way to go, Lee! Woo!
Yeah, I didn't know you'd go lower than Brian, though. I'm surprised about that.
Hey,
anyway,
I can get lower than anybody.
Oh, well, I've heard. But let's not go there. That's a completely different discussion.
That sounded wrong in so many ways.
It is, isn't it, Brian? You tell him. You sort him out. You put him in line. Anyway, for me, do you know what? I know. I see the complaints of this episode. I get why people don't like it. I can see that. But for me, it was really good. I enjoyed the twist. The acting was great, and I thought it was clever. The Missy scenes, yes, they were a little bit disjointed. I did think they were kind of following 2 different stories. It was like the train going, it's like a track, and then one's on one track and the other's on the other, and it's like, yeah, so I think I'm going to give it a 9. I'm going to go with Kevin. I'm going to give it a 9 because I really liked it, but I can see some of its faults. And you have got to remember, this is only the first part of a 3-parter. So next week might explain some stuff which might make you think, oh, well, actually, the first episode is actually a lot better than I thought because it's led to this or it's explained this. So maybe those of you who didn't like it might like it after you've seen the second part or the third part. But I do worry that how many, you see, usually with Doctor Who episodes, if it's a 2-parter even, you'll have one good part and the other one will be a bad part. I just hope that the next part isn't bad or the third part isn't bad. I hope he can keep this story going, and I hope it pays off because it's a 3-parter. He's got to make this pay off in episode 3 of this 3-parter. He's got to pay this off.
Hopefully it pays off
Yeah.
because this episode was just shit.
Anyway, on that note from Brian, I'd like to thank everybody here for joining me. I'd like to thank you for watching. Don't forget to tell us below what you think of Extremis. Did you love it like me, Beef Dad and Kevin and Susan? Or did you hate it like the Moffat bashers of the group? No, I'm not. Anyway.
Go Moffat, go down. Go down. Go up, go down.
Tell us below what you thought. Also, hit that subscribe button for more crazy, insane videos like this one. And as Lee always says, if there's members of the group that you don't like, don't worry, I will take them out and have them shot. So look after yourself, take care, and I'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody, bye.